You guys having trouble with your Gatsby paper? No one's turned that in yet. It's due today. What's going on?
I have mine written. I just have to type it out.
Okay. All right. You forgot to do it. Man. I gave you a whole class day off. I gave you like a day off, a class to write it. You forgot to do it. By the way, my camera is messing up. I don't know what is going on with this thing again. It keeps doing funky stuff. So it keeps going back and forth from one camera to another. So anyway. Spencer, I'm glad you're here. It's nice to have you here. One of the Virtual Academy rules though is that you have your camera on while you're in class. So you got to have your camera on while you're in class. So I know you haven't had a chance to join us in our Zoom sessions. But that is one of the stipulations of the Virtual Academy this semester. You do have to have your camera on during class time. So, thank you. Awesome. Good to see you. All right. So, anywho, so anyone else having trouble? Sean, how's your Gatsby paper going? You haven't started it because it's due today. You're supposed to start it before today so that you don't rush it and get it done today, because then paper is not like, you have time to edit it and things like that. Oh, you turkeys. Okay, so that's why I gave you a day off. So it will be fine. Yeah, well, you have a whole day? Okay, well, we shall see. But I gave you the day off on Monday so that you guys could write it. So anyhow, hold on a second. I'm looking for your quiz for today. So today we're going to start working, since we're done with Gatsby, since we're officially done with Gatsby, because you were supposed to have your essay done today. And nobody seems to have any questions. Spencer, how's your essay coming? You good? What, I don't know. You got this and you got this. I'm not sure what this means. Is it coming along? Are we writing it? Or okay, all right. So I have, if you guys are not wanting to talk in class or talk over Zoom, I have my office hours this afternoon as usual from 1 to 2. So please come to my office hours if you need help. Please do not suffer in silence. I know you all love to do that, but please don't. It doesn't do you any good. Let me help you. Let me help you. Please let me help you. Okay. All right. So we're going to start working for towards our prepping for our ACT. Okay, you all will have your ACT, a free ACT, on February 23rd here in the building. All right, and that all juniors get to do that here on campus. And so we're going to start working on kind of preparing you for that as best I can. I've never done this virtually, so this is kind of a new thing for me. So we're going to try to see how we can make this happen. I'm not going to keep you for a really long time today, because really I just want to talk to you about a couple strategies and things like that in regards to how to take the English portion of the test and things like that, because today you're going to take a practice test. And what I would really like for you to do as best as you can, and I'm not sure if the Edulastic version of that I posted out there has a timer on it. I don't think it does, but if it may or may not. But I want you to try to set yourself a timer for 45 minutes when you take this practice test, okay, today. Because that's how long you're going to get on the ACT to take the English portion of the test, okay? 45 minutes is how long you're going to get. And And once I go back and see like how everyone's done on the test and everything, we'll talk about that next time. But what I want you guys to think about when you're taking this test, okay? Sometimes the idea is on the ACT is to answer every single question, no matter what, okay? So you don't want to leave questions blank. You don't want to try to, you don't want to overanalyze something. So when you're looking at the information, the answers are there, at least for the English and the reading section that I'm going to help you with over the next couple class periods. The English and the reading sections, the answers are there. They are right in front of you. It's not like we've taught you in English where you read between the lines, you're analyzing, you're inferring, you're trying to figure out what the author is trying to say, things like that. Everything is right there. Now, the ACT will try to trick you. They do that. They will try to trick you, okay? And they will try to get you to maybe choose a different answer than what you normally would choose. So, but I want to show you, let's see, let me pull up. Sorry guys, where's my, I'm trying to find my practice list. Okay. So I believe, let me double check Edulastic really quick. Why are you freezing up on me? There you go. Okay. All right, that's not the right one, so that's fine. Good. It's not the one that I was thinking. Okay. So let me share my screen with you. All right. So when this is what the English test, have any of you taken the ACT at all yet? Have anybody? No? Okay. So when you take the English part of the test, so there's an English, reading, science, and math, okay? When you take the English portion of the test, it's going to kind of look like this, all right? You are going to answer questions on English, your English skills, okay? So like we've been practicing our grammar, our vocabulary, things like that to get you ready for this test, okay? And the idea is that you're going to be able to decide whether or not the information that you are being asked about needs to be fixed, changed, is correct, things like that, okay? And a lot of the times, if you will go through and sometimes replace information with what the answer is giving you, you can figure things out, okay? And the answers will match the information that's underlined, okay? Or the questions will match the information that's underlined, all right? So like on this one, it says, between March and November of 2011, an anonymous donor left intricately crafted paper sculptures at various cultural institutions in Edinburgh, Scotland, okay? So then we're gonna look at question number 1, and it's gonna say, which choice most effectively emphasizes the complexity of the paper sculptures? Okay, so what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that question mean? What is it asking? What is that question asking you to do? Anyone got an idea? What is that? What is that question asking you guys to do? You guys can write it in the chat or you guys can unmute. What is it asking you to do? What do you think? Okay, so it's asking you to tell me if that's the correct word in the sentence. Okay, so it's saying which are these the right words, or is the word that's in there the right word that's to use? Okay, so which of these words are the right ones? Which one of these best describes the paper, or is the one that's in there the right one? So what do you all think? Okay. So I have one answer. Anyone else? Okay, I have two answers now. Spencer, Sean, you guys got answers? Come on, give me an answer. Put it in the chat. No one else can see your chat messages but me. Okay? Come on, guys. Okay. So I have three people who so the majority of you said B, impressively. Okay. So if I was to say between March and November of 2011, an anonymous donor left impressively crafted paper sculptures at various cultural institutions in Edinburgh, Scotland, England. So that emphasizes the complexity of the paper sculptures. So that tells us that they're very complex. They're very, that they, so do you know what intricately means? Does anyone know what intricately means? Anybody? Anybody know what intricately means? I love sitting here talking to myself. It's fun. Very complicated or detailed manners. Right. Very complicated or detailed manners. All right. So do you all still believe that you have the right, that B is the correct answer? Based on which choice most effectively emphasizes the complexity of the paper sculptures? Anyone think they want to change their answer? I can tell you that C and D are not the answers. Okay, intricately would more or less describe more complex information about the complexity of the sculptures, okay? Just by definition alone, okay, intricately, because in the definition of intricate alone says complicated, complex, okay? Now, I know that one was a little tough, that first one, but the idea is that it's okay to choose no change. It's okay to choose that. Okay. There is they say that 25% of these questions that are on here actually are no change. Okay. So it's okay to say no change. All right. So now we can try the next one. Let's try the next one. Delighted, each sculpture was left secretly and was later discovered by staff. Okay, so this over here is asking you which one of these might be better. Each sculpture was left secretly and later discovered by delighted staff. Left secretly and later discovered by staff, each sculpture was delighted. Secretly delighted, each sculpture was discovered by staff. Any of those work? Again, I want you to make sure that you're looking at the question or looking at the thing. So, and I know right now we're still learning and stuff, but remember, delighted, each sculpture was, so was each sculpture delighted? Okay, so we have, oh, we have all, okay, so we picked all three answers. Okay, so we have, okay, first of all, J, again, it would be the same thing as this one because we're calling each sculpture delighted, secretly delighted, each sculpture. We're calling the sculptures delighted, okay? And the sculptures are not delighted, all right? So, so we have some, let's see, we have someone that says G, okay? So each sculpture was left secretly and later discovered by delighted staff, okay? So that makes a little bit more sense because we have the staff is delighted, okay, which that's the way it would work. H, we're still saying that the sculpture was delighted. Okay, so left secretly and later discovered by staff, each sculpture was delighted. So we're still calling the sculpture delighted in H as well. So G, again, would be the only one that would work in this situation because the staff is the one that's delighted because they found. You guys see where I'm going with that? Okay, so, and when you get to the test, it's going to be very stressful. So it's important that you pay attention to how things are worded and what they're asking you. Okay. Okay, so let's try this again as we go. All right. Let's see. The first sculpture discovered at the Scottish Poetry Library was a tiny tree formed from a book of verse. The library staff dubbed it the poetry. All right. So the library staff dubbed it the poetry. All right. So should it be specified, adorned, or honored? So we can actually just go in here and say the library staff specified it, the poetry. The library staff adorned it, the poetry. The library staff honored it, the poetry. Or no change. What do you think? Got one more person I'm waiting on. See what you guys got. One more person needs to answer. Okay, so no change. But do you guys see what I did? I went in there and I put all of those words in there to see if it would make sense. Okay, that's a tool you can use to help you. Okay. Okay, let's try it again. At Edinburgh's Film House Cinema, a three-dimensional sculpted scene shows patrons. All right, so we don't want to go too far because then we got number 5 and that kind of gets confusing. So here we go. Number 4. All right, now pay attention. Here's our commas. I wish I could draw on this thing. So here we got commas and things like that. And remember, all of that is very important when we're writing our sentences. Okay. So we have, so what is the, do we have no change or do we have cinema, common, a three-dimensional sculpted comma scene? Cinema with no comma, a three-dimensional sculpted scene, comma. Cinema with no comma, a three-dimensional comma sculpted comma scene. Which one of those, or if any, do you think those would work? Which one of those? Okay, let's see how we got. Everybody give me an answer. I got F, F, and H. So it would be F because we could actually, technically, we could take out, you could totally remove this first part and then the sentence would still make sense. Right? So it would still work. Okay. So then we have number 5. It shows patrons sitting in a movie theater as horse leaps out of the screen. Gosh, I can hardly read that. Shows patrons sitting in a movie theater as horse leaps out of the screen. Okay, so now would it be shows patrons sitting in a movie theater sitting in movie theaters as horses leaps out of the screen? Would it be sitting in a movie theater as horses leap out of the screen? Or sitting in movie theaters as horse leap out of the screen? Which one do you think that one is? Or no change? Waiting for one more answer. C is the correct answer. Yes, C is the correct answer. Okay, so are you guys kind of getting how the English portion of this works? Like how this goes through? You just have to focus on the number that it is. Now, again, you have to be very careful about how the ACT words it and everything like that. Watch the commas. Watch what they're asking you to figure out. Read it. Sometimes you have to read it out loud. When you're at the ACT and you're doing it, obviously you cannot read it out loud, but you can read it out loud in your head, okay? You guys have been practicing this stuff all semester long if you've been doing your grammar work and things like that. So you should be able to pull this together and do this. So I don't want to keep you too long today because we don't need to go over all this, but you guys can work on the pre-test that I sent you on. It's on Edulastic. It does have 75 questions. That's how long your test is. Okay, that's how long the original English test is. Okay, for the ACT. Again, it's 45 minutes. If you could time yourself for 45 minutes to take the test, that way you can kind of pace yourself so that you know how long you need to spend on certain ones. Answer the easy ones first. Okay, if you can get through them and they're quick, answer the easy ones first. The ones that you're stumped on, skip it and come back. Does that make sense? Things that are, like I said, and that's okay for you to do on the real ACT as well. And then, so do you, other than that, do you guys have any questions or anything? I would just say practice, and then when we come back, we'll look at the answers and we'll see what else we can go over and try to help you with some of that stuff. Okay. We'll work on some reading strategies and all that fun stuff too. But this is important. It's important for you to work on the ACT stuff because this is good stuff for you to learn to get ready for your ACT. All right. All right, guys, I will let you all go. All right, I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend and take that practice test. All right. All right, see you later.